Footscray to Parkville now takes 8 minutes by train. The 9% growth near Arden Station in 60 days might be the opening chapter, not the peak. Springvale offers the best combination of growth, momentum, and affordability. Arden has better fundamentals. Not just a train station, but a government-backed urban renewal area earmarked for 15,000 new residents and 34,000 jobs over the next 2 decades. Hi everyone, 15.8 billion. That's what was spent 9 kilometers of quick tunnels blasted under the CBD. 5 brand new underground stations, and on February the 1st, 2026, the switch was flipped. And here's the question I want to answer today. 60 days later, did the Melbourne property actually move? Or this one of those infrastructure projects where hype outran the data? I've gone through the numbers suburbs by suburb, station by station, and what I found surprised even me, because some of these suburbs moved faster than I expected. And one suburb in particular is sitting on a growth number that nobody in the media is talking about. Stay to the end because I'm going to tell you which suburbs are already showing the price impact, which ones are still early, and most importantly, whether the biggest gains are already gone or whether they are still ahead of us. Everything I share here is general information, not only financial advice. ACIC Smart link is in the description. Let's go. Now, before I show you the price data, I need you to understand what actually changed. Because if you don't understand the commute transformation, you won't understand why the prices moved. 15.8 billion, 5 new underground stations, Arden, Parkville, State Library, Town Hall, and NZ. 500,000 people affected daily. That's not a small train upgrade. That's the most significant restructuring of Melbourne's rail network since the City Loop opened in 1980s. Trains between Water Gardens and Dandenong now run every 3 to 4 minutes at peak. The Sunbury, Cranbourne and Pakenham lines no longer go through the City Loop at all. They are running directly through the new tunnel. Here is the stat that I think explains everything that happened to property prices in the first 60 days. Footscray to Parkville now takes 8 minutes by train. 8 minutes. Before the tunnel opened, the journey requires changing trams or driving. 8 minutes versus 35 plus minutes. When you cut a commute that dramatically, the geography where people want to live changes overnight. Look at the schematic. The green dots are the 5 new underground stations. One direct line, Sunbury in the northwest, all the way through to Cranbourne, Pakenham in the southeast. No transfers, no congestion through the old City Loop. Now let me show you what this did to prices. Okay, the data. This is what you came from. Within 800 meters of a new station, estimated price impact of plus 9.2% above the Melbourne average in the 60 days since the big switch. 800 meters to 2 kilometers from a new station, plus 5.8% above average, still significant. Suburbs along the Sunbury, Cranbourne and Pakenham lines, even further from the CBD stations, are showing plus 4.3% above Melbourne's overall average. This is the frequency effect. More trains, more often, more reliable. And Melbourne overall is at minus 0.9%. So the Metro Tunnel corridor is outperforming the city by 10 full percentage points. If you have made it this far, good, because this is the suburb by suburb numbers. And one of these growth figures should genuinely shock you. North Melbourne around the Arden Station precinct up 11.3% annually. This is the standout number, and it makes sense when you understand what Arden is. Not just a train station, but a government-backed urban renewal area earmarked for 15,000 new residents and 34,000 jobs over the next 2 decades. You're not just buying near a train station, you're buying at the ground floor of Melbourne's next inner city suburb. Footscray on the Sunbury line up 9.4%. Young medical professionals and university staff who previously couldn't afford Parkville or Carlton are now looking at Footscray and saying, I'm 8 minutes away and I pay half the price. Springvale on the Pakenham line up 9.5%, the best growth figure in this analysis, and it's still 370,000 cheaper than Clayton. One stop up the same rail line. Sunshine up 8.1%, Metro Tunnel connection now, Melbourne Airport rail link planned for 2029 and 2031. 2 infrastructure tailwinds still below Footscray in price. Now, Sunbury to CBD was 52 minutes, now is 38. a saving of 14 minutes over a year. If you commute 5 days a week, that's nearly 2 full working weeks of life being given back. Footscray to Parkville was 35 minutes with a cram change, now 8 minutes direct. A saving of 27 minutes each way. That is a lifestyle transformation, not just a convenience. Cranbourne and Pakenham, direct CBD access for the first time, no transfer at Flinders Street. I want to spend a minute on Arden because I think it's the most underappreciated story in Melbourne property right now. 15,000 planned residents, 34,000 jobs, 20 billion plus in estimated property value uplift. This isn't a suburb that has grown, this is a suburb that barely exists, and you can buy into it today. Property analysts are comparing Arden's trajectory to Docklands in the early 2000s, but they say Arden has better fundamentals. Why? Because it has a direct rail at the door from day one, adjacent to North Melbourne's existing residential fabric. And the University of Melbourne and the major hospital precincts are just 2 stops away via tunnel. Arden Station opened 60 days ago. The rezoning is done, the plans are approved, and most buyers have not yet figured out what this means. The most important thing I can tell you about Metro Tunnel and property prices is not what happened in the first 60 days. It's what the data from equivalent project tells us about what happens next. Sydney Northwest Metro Year 1 premium near station was plus 4.2%. By Year 3, plus 11.5%. Brisbane Cross River Rail Year 1 premium 3.8%. Year 3 estimate 9.8%. Sydney City and the Southwest Metro Year 1 at 5.1%, Year 3 at 13.2%. The pattern is consistent. Year 1 shows early movers and sentiment shift. Years 2 through 5 show the sustained premium as living with the infrastructure embeds into the buyer decision making. If Melbourne follows that trajectory, then there is no structural reason why it wouldn't. The 9% growth near Arden Station in 60 days might be the opening chapter, not the peak. The question isn't, did prices move? They clearly did. The question is this a 60-day story or a 5-year story? The data says 5 years. The clearest winners in the 60-day data, Footscray, North Melbourne, and around Arden, Sunshine, Kensington, Springvale, Drayton, and the Cranbourne and Pakenham corridor suburbs, with the most direct CBD access. Properties to watch carefully: anything near ventilation, stacks, noise, risk. High density Docklands and South Bank still oversupplied, and the Frankston line returned to the old city loop, which is a mixed outcome. Real quick, nothing I say here is a financial advice. I'm a property media guy, not a licensed advisor. All the information I provided is general information. Now, for the first home buyers, Sunshine, Footscray and Kensington are now Metro Tunnel connected at prices significantly below Sydney and Melbourne's inner east. Units below 600k in these suburbs unlock the full stamp duty exemption. The Arden Precinct specifically, you're buying at the beginning of a 20-year urban renewal story. For the investors, Footscray to Parkville in 8 minutes, that's a genuine lifestyle uplift that hasn't fully priced in yet. Sunshine has a future, airport rail link benefit on top of current Metro Tunnel access. Springvale offers the best combination of growth, momentum and affordability in the corridor right now. And for both buyer types, the historical data says the infrastructure premium builds over years to 2 to 5, not just in the first 60 days. You're still early. All sources are linked in the description. Full suburb reports free at nexthouse.com.au. Subscribe if this data was useful. Share it with someone navigating in the property market. Speak to a licensed professional before making any decision. I'm Ankar. This is Next House. See you soon.